I've been thinking about this comment because it's something I really understand. Like when I first started painting, I was so overwhelmed by color. I tended to just stick with what I knew, and that wasn't much, so my paintings turned out a bit boring and flat. But now I understand a bit more about color theory and how it's more than just blue plus yellow equals green. So I'm going to break down how I painted this still life in 3 hours, referencing 3 crucial components of color theory. So I know mandarin's orange, but to create an interesting painting with dimension and an element of realism, you sort of have to break down those barriers in your brain and really observe what's actually there. If you look closely in this simple still life, as well as orange, there's green, purple, yellow, blue. So the first thing our brains tend to process is the hue. So that is the general color of the object, red, blue, green, in this case, orange. The next thing we need to establish though is value. So that is the lightness or darkness of something. Mapping out your picture in terms of the lightest lights, the darkest darks, and the midtones sets a really great foundation for more realistic pictures. The third really important thing to consider is chroma, which is the intensity of the color. These mandarins are in very early morning sun, so the warm light coming in from the left there is what's really informing how this painting will turn out. We have to observe how the light is interacting with everything in the picture. Straight up, we can see the mandarin on the left is super vivid and pure in saturation, but as we move further away from that strong light beam, the colors decrease in saturation. So I mixed in some green to achieve this, and being a complementary color of orange, it really helps to bring down the intensity. It's a similar thing with the background. The benchtop is very warm where the sun is directly hitting, but further back and behind the mandarins, the shadows get cooler. This is where temperature comes into play. So that's another thing to consider when judging your color choices. There's a rule that says warm light produces cool shadows. So you can see where I added in some purple, and it just helps make them pop even more since purple is complementary to orange. So here is my final product. There is so much more I could go on about, but if you found this insightful at all, I just encourage you to do some more of your own research into color theory and maybe try and focus on these 4 elements on your next painting.